Alright, so you know the saying, I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover. Well, I'm the opposite. I'm a hater, and I'm a proud hater. I will admit that to you right now. I wake up extra early in the morning, so I have extra time to hate throughout my day. It's something that has been ingrained in me. My earliest remembrance of becoming a hater, I think, is R.I.P. Kobe. He knocked out the Phoenix Suns back in the day. That's my favorite team, the Suns. He hit a game winner, and he came down the court, and he was just like this, just fist pumping it, and I was like, I don't know him. I'm probably like 7 or 8 at the time, and I was like, I don't know him, but for the rest of my life, I will hate that man no matter what he does, what he accomplishes in his life. I will always hate him. And that is where it all began. Okay, so with this video today, I want to kind of highlight some of my most respected characters from my most hated anime. That's right. I mentioned Kobe earlier. Despite how much I did not like him on the court, I did have to respect his game at the end of the day. You know what? I can't deny him his greatness. He was one of the best to do it, and will always be considered one of the best to do it. He has my respect in that regards. Well, that's what I'm going to do today. I want to highlight some of my favorite characters from my least favorite shows. And some of them are not my favorites. Some of them are your guys' favorites. I looked up a list and seen what are some of the most overrated shows out there, and I picked some characters that you have to respect at the end of the day. So let's talk about some of those characters. Okay, so the first one on this list, if you are a longtime watcher of the show, and you haven't subscribed already, why haven't you done that? I don't want to add you to my list of people that I hate, okay? Subscribe now if you haven't and you still watch this. Come on guys. I don't want to do the whole like 40% of you guys are not subscribed to watching my content. Anyway, subscribe. But getting into it, like I mentioned, if you have been watching this channel for a long time, you know that I'm not the biggest One Piece fan. I've never really sat down and finished a full season. My knowledge is only through 4 kids. That's the extent of it, and I've just hated it ever since, because you know what? It's fun for me. I like to be that person. Well, anyway, I did watch the movie last year, One Piece Red, when that came out, and in this movie, I was like, you know, I'm familiar with the characters. I'm familiar with the Straw Hat characters, because who aren't familiar with them at this point, right? But there was one character that stuck out to me, and I was like, wait, hold on. Who's this? Who is this man? And that man is Kiryu, aka Borsalino. I'm not quite sure why he has 2 different names, but anyway, this man, when he came on screen, I was like, this dude is dapper, and he was using his powers, and I was like, damn, this guy is strong, and he has lasers, and what is going on here? And so after watching this film, I kind of went and did a little research. Back in the day, I used to do this a lot. I would just Wikipedia a character that I was like interested in. Like, let's say I was like, okay, Superman, and I would look at Superman, I'd read all his facts or whatever, and then I would find a hyperlink to like Parasite, and I'd read all about Parasite. I did that with this character. I was like, what can I find out about this character? Why hasn't he been more of a main thing in the series? And he's been around for a while, I guess, in the series, and I was like, how is this guy not just became the main character? He's such a badass. And so in my research, I found out that the design of him is actually based on a famous Japanese actor, Kuni Tanaka, and this guy looks just like Borsalino, and I'm like, damn, that's uncanny. That's kind of cool that they based the character off just an actor, because the creator of One Piece was just like, I like this guy a lot, so let's make him something inside of my universe, and that's really cool. And yeah, I found out a lot about him, and I just couldn't hate on this guy. I was like, damn. It was even to the point where I was looking up statues of him to buy, and I was like, wait, what am I doing? Why am I about to spend like $150 on a statue of a character from a show that I don't even really care for? That's how much respect this man earned from me, and that's how cool his design is. So I can't hate on my man Borsalino, aka Kizaru. I don't really know how to say his name completely yet, but yeah, if he ever becomes a main thing in the show, like he finally appears and like beats Luffy's ass, I'll be hyped. I'll continue. I'll get on that boat. I'll watch the show from that point. You know what? I'll start my One Piece journey once Luffy gets the hands, okay, from Borsalino. Okay, so here's a show that I actually did watch. I hate watched it, I guess, at the point. It was a show that's always been hyped up for me, because people in my life are like, you know what, Hunter x Hunter, that's what the show is. It's Hunter x Hunter, it's so good, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what, it's not going to live up to Yu Yu Hakusho, because, same creator and all that stuff. And I was just like, I've seen clips of it, and the designs of the characters, they didn't look really cool, look kind of like kiddish to me. And I was like, I'm never going to watch that. And the pandemic happened, and it happened to be on Netflix, and I was like, you know what, let's just watch it, because there's a lot of episodes, and let me just see what all the hype is about, and why everybody keeps, like, pretty much sucking this dick. So I hate watched all of Hunter x Hunter, and I became not really a fan of it. It has its big points of not interest to me. It became boring after a while, but there was one character that stood out to me that I could not hate for the life of me. Honorable mention, Leorio, he's a good character, but of course I'm talking about Killua, okay? This character, despite how you feel about the show, and despite how I felt about the show, I fell in love with him. He's a great character. He's well written, he's a badass, and he just became my favorite throughout, and he became even more prevalent than Gon at some points, and I was like, damn, do I care about this guy? I hate the show, but I care about him a lot. He's so fleshed out, and he's so, like, his performance that was given, and it was weird because I watched like half dub, half sub, because the dub on that is weird. It changes after a while. Anyway, both actors for both characters, they captured my heart, and I was like, damn, Killua is a badass, despite Hunter x Hunter's problems within itself and the characters around them that I don't really care for. Killua was always one that I was like, he's a badass. I want him to win. He has earned my respect. He's the Kobe of this universe to me. He's the GOAT. Okay, now here's a show that I didn't watch at all ever. This is one of the ones that I included on this list because it was part of other lists that said, like, the most overrated shows ever. I do have a friend who's watched every single iteration of the show. I'm talking about Seven Deadly Sins. My friend has watched the Japanese dub, he's watched the Japanese sub, he's watched the English dub, he's watched the Portuguese, he's watched like literally every single one of them. And he loves the show to death, and I never really gave it a fair chance because it didn't look very, like, interesting to me. I was like, this looks like Fairy Tail, and that show didn't interest me. It looked too much alike. But when I saw this character come on screen, he had his big fight scene, I was like, whoa, that's kind of cool. I can't even hate on this. And I'm talking about Escanor, the man, the myth, the legend, the body goals himself, and mustache goals if you have one. Yeah, he's a total badass. I just saw the fight scene with him fighting some demon or whatever, and he picks up the sun with his axe and just like slams it on him, and I was like, damn, he's kind of cool. It makes me want to watch the show. I didn't watch the show, but him as a character, I was like, damn, he's really cool. I think he's kind of an asshole, I heard. Like I said, I didn't really get into the show, but just on his design alone and his abilities alone, from the little clips that I did see, it earned me respect, and I was like, damn, you know what, maybe Seven Deadly Sins has some heat to it. Maybe I'm missing out. And then season 3 or something like that happened, and the animation dropped, and I was like, maybe I was right to not watch this show. But Escanor, he does live in my respected list from a show that I hate, so can't hate on him. He's too cool. Okay, so Boruto. What a weird show. It started off in a weird place because it was coming off the backs of one of the most beloved shows ever, and it gave us a flash forward scene at the beginning of the first episode, and we have not to this point reached that point in which we'd seen in the first episode. It's been 8 years almost, and we're still barely getting to like something interesting. So I watched a few episodes of this when it first aired, and I was like, this is kind of trash because it's just like all filler. And then I would pop in and out every once in a while, like when Sasuke and Naruto fought Momoshiki. That was cool. But yeah, there was points where I was like in and out of it, and I was like, yeah, it's cool that it's trying its best, but it's just not living up to the hype. And now we're about to have a time skip, and people are like, it's gonna be the best thing ever. Anyway, I can't say any of the main characters because we all know, the older, like the Naruto and Sasuke. That's not what earned my respect for Boruto, and it definitely was not Boruto because he's useless to me. He's nothing. The one character that did interest me because it came out a couple years ago, this fight scene is one that like popped up, and I was like, whoa, this week was crazy. And it was a fight scene, and I was like, well, okay, what's going on? Let me see. And it was Kawaki. This dude, oh man, what a fucking sick ass fight scene. This fight scene was like, it was like old school Naruto. Like it earned my respect. And I don't know if it was because the animation was crazy or the fight choreography was crazy, but no, Kawaki himself, he was just like, his haircut was cool. It inspired a lot of like TikTok haircuts because of it. His powers are pretty cool. And yeah, he's like another, like, I guess Sasuke character to the world, but seeing him, I was like, he's pretty cool. I kind of like him. I don't like really like him, but seeing this fight scene, I was like, damn, you know what? Maybe he's got some hands. And just finding out a little bit about his backstory when I did like a Wikipedia dump, and I was like, oh, he's all right. He's not terrible. He's probably one of the cooler of the new characters that they introduced. So yeah, amongst all that mess that is going on in Boruto, Kawaki, I think he's pretty cool. And I don't even know if people like him like that. I thought he was cool, and I think he still is cool. So, I don't know. Let me know down below if you think he's cool or not, or if he's just useless. Or did I get fooled? I rather is what I should say. By the cool fight scene. I don't think I did. I think he's pretty cool. Okay, another show that I jumped in and out of was Bleach. When it was airing first on Adult Swim, I did keep up with it, so I was into it. And then all the way up until the point to where they went to Wekamundo. Then I was like, what's going on? This is kind of weird. I don't know what it is about me, but whenever shows get like, they introduce you to a setting and you're in the real world and they take you somewhere different, it's like mythical and magical, I'm like, okay, I'm checked out now. The mystery is kind of gone. I kind of like the real world setting. I don't know if it's going to be like that. Set it in that setting in the beginning, so I'm not like taken aback by it. And I know it does get good for you, those who do watch Bleach. It was never part of my regular watch show. I was a Naruto fan. I wasn't a Bleach fan or a One Piece fan, obviously. So out of the big three, Bleach was not it for me. But seeing this again, another fight scene that popped up on my feed recently, it's from the new 1,000-Year Blood War, whatever the heck you want to call it. I was like, wait, hold on, this looks kind of cool. And because maybe I am biased towards fire powers, Yamamoto, this character, Dauge, what a beast that man is. Again, I've heard things about him that he's not very cool, but this is the first time that I guess they've actually seen him fight, because even in the first Bleach series, he didn't really fight anybody. So seeing this scene where he was just like, I lost my train of thought. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but there's an ice cream truck driving by right now. Maybe not. Anyway, the opposite of ice cream is fire. Anyway, yeah, seeing the fight scene that he's in where he's just like unleashes his Bankai and it's just like it takes up all the moisture in the air or whatever, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. The animation went crazy, and the fight itself was pretty damn crazy. Like, I wasn't a fan of just like the 3D skeletons moving or whatever, but the fire scenes alone and him just like rushing him all fast or whatever, I was like, man, this is kind of cool. And you have to have respect for characters like that, you know, the older ones who kind of show you like why they're so like respected and that they're old in the universe, because not many old people can live that long if you're like really about it. The only reason you live is if you are about it and you survive that long because you just give pure hands, and whoever tests you, you just put them in their place. Yeah, Yamamoto showed that with his ability and his Bankai, and I was like, damn, he's cool. You know, maybe Bleach has something going for it, even though I'm not the biggest fan. I have to respect Yamamoto, although he went out like a little bitch, I'm not gonna lie. So that was very upsetting. Maybe that's why I never got into Bleach, because they don't respect sick ass characters. I don't know, but yeah, Yamamoto definitely earned my respect, although I'm not the biggest fan of Bleach. And rounding out the list here, this is one that I personally do know that people think is overrated. It's from My Hero Academia. Despite how you feel about the show and where it's gone, its ups and downs that it's had, because it has had some ups and downs recently. Last season though was crazy good. Yeah, if you do hate it, you have no choice but to respect All Might. That's right, the poster boy, the poster man rather, of the My Hero universe. And you know it's Deku or whatever, but All Might is the one where you watch it and you're like, oh, who's that? That guy's cool. Why is the show not really about him? Because it's about, you know, passing the torch or whatever. But anyway, those who don't like My Hero, if you show them All Might fight scenes, they're gonna be like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. I thought this was for kids. Like, yeah, some points it is, but All Might throws hands and he throws them with the best of them. He's cooler than Superman because he's like supposed to be the Superman equivalent. No, he's way cooler than Superman. He clears him completely because he is so flawed within himself. That's why he's better than Superman. But yeah, All Might himself though, he's the best. He's the best of everybody. He represents the best ideas and everything inside of the My Hero universe. And when you watch him just in action, you're in awe. And that's how I was, and I still am every time I see like, you know, any fight scenes from All Might, you know, no matter how old it is, I'm like, damn, that was sick when that was happening. I wish he was still, you know, full power. He's not that anymore. Spoilers, I guess, if you're not watching My Hero. Yeah, you kind of regret it. But then you see the movies and you're like, oh, damn, he's really going for like him and Deku when they're like father-son beat down or whatever. Crazy. So yeah, you have to respect All Might, even if you don't like My Hero. You can put All Might and his character, like design, his abilities and all that, up against some of your favorites, and he probably keeps up with them because he's such a badass. And yeah, that's a character that I love, that from a show that I don't hate, but I can see from the outside people who do hate this show, what character would they, you know, identify with or would think they'd be cool? It would be All Might. All right, everybody, that is the hate for the day, but it's my showing respect for those I hate, okay? Because at the end of the day, If you hate somebody, you have to kind of respect them a little bit, right? Whatever they're doing in life, not like a serious hate, like I hate that guy, but like a hating on somebody. There's a little bit of jealousy within that, right? And yeah, so I think that everybody should hate on somebody today. I think you should spread hateness, because we do spread kindness a lot, but I think you should just hate on somebody just for the hell of it. Whatever they're wearing, hey, that shit's whack. Why do you have those on? Or you graduated, cool, whatever. You don't have a job still. You're in debt. Like something like that. Some fun hate like that. Spread it today. Why not? Because today's the day. And if you do want to show love, you can still do that. And by doing that, I think you should subscribe. Do that. Comment down below. Follow down below. All that. That is the only love I want you to give today, is to this channel, okay? And the rest of it, just go on and hate, okay? The rest of the day, hate. Go watch the Chappelle Show Haters Ball skit. Just watch that and encompass that. And those characters that you see and you witness, let that lead you in your life. Go watch the Boondocks Hateocracy episode. Let their energy lead you in life, because hating is underrated.